No, I didn't stay up all night, but I was bombarded with the result first thing. So Donald J. Trump is back in power. What do I think? What impact will this have on EVs, since Trump is a climate and EV skeptic through and through, and a massive fan of tariffs against everyone? I'm Dave, this is Dave Takes It On. First, my personal view. I don't have one. I'm not an American, I cannot vote in America, can't influence in any way the outcome of the election, can't influence in any way what Donald J. Trump does once he gets in office, and I cannot in any way influence getting rid of him if he proves to be a bad president. I therefore have no comment on him. He's next president. That's all. No comment, way beyond my control, doesn't figure in my day-to-day thinking at all. What he might do does figure much more. Remember, he doesn't take over before the 20th of January 2025, so cannot do, well, not that much legally and officially for a couple of months. Well, the markets were first to react, and the Dow Jones instantly surged 1,300 points. Nasdaq surged 1.8% overnight, and the S&P rocketed 2.3%, all in out-of-hours trading. They like the result. I also like the market reaction. In after-hours trading, my Tesla shares soared instantly by almost 20%, making my shares worth a lot more. Thank you, markets. Well, getting down to reality, I have watched Trump for a while and can happily conclude that whatever he's said in the past, he can instantly, with no trace of hypocrisy, say the opposite if and when it suits him. So I've got no idea what he's likely to do. Well, some things are totally unpredictable, but others are quite likely. So let's have a look at them. Well, Trump rewards loyalty above all except making money for himself. Under Biden and almost all previous presidents, I found American politics to be embarrassingly corrupt. Biden, for example, was reportedly funded by the UAW, Union of Auto Workers, and was therefore absolutely beholden to them in his day-to-day actions and all his decisions. It was striking that he held a "Let's Recognise Who Started the EV Revolution" meeting last year in the White House and invited all except Elon Musk and Tesla, who, rightly or wrongly, doesn't have his workers unionised. Well, that's not a subject I'm going to cover, but he is the boss and he is acting totally within the law. But for President Biden to not even state his name, he heaped praise on Mary Barra, CEO of GM, which was heavily unionised, of course, and he claimed she did it all single-handed. She started the EV revolution. Despite Tesla being the world's largest EV manufacturer, the starter of it all, and a major employer of American labour, producing their EVs in America with American labour, unlike General Motors and Ford, who manufacture most of their cars in Mexico or elsewhere around the world, including China, which Biden hates, using foreign labour. It's atrocious, the corruption. Well, the biggest change I foresee is the transition of the US government from being funded by the unions to being funded by a profit-seeking, self-proclaimed dictator. Biden, well, he had some checks and balances. Trump likely will not. Republicans are also likely to hold power in both the Senate and Congress, their equivalents of our House of Commons and the House of Lords, making any decisions he makes almost mandatory. In fact, with the power he has already given to himself, that might be his first order. Anything he decides becomes law. Well, if the rumours are true and Musk did contribute millions or billions to the Trump campaign, then Trump is most likely going to have to reward him. The least he can do is state his name and invite him to EV events held by the government. He might get a government place. Well, if Musk played his cards right, I believe Trump will find that despite all his bragging and boasting about being the best negotiator in the world, the art of the deal, running the most profitable companies in the world, most of which have gone bankrupt, he will have been outplayed at every step by Musk. He will want something for the millions he invested in Trump and the efforts he made, like his personal appearances at Trump rallies to get him elected. So for Tesla, I see a massive boom period ahead, and the market reactions, financial markets, backs this up. As I've stated before, I'm not a Musk fanboy, but I'm a Tesla fanboy, and the share price rocketing even before the markets open is a sign that they like what has happened. Please take personalities out of business. I and the markets don't like Elon Musk, but we both recognise the massive impact, success and profits he has created. Without him, the EV world would look very different, if it even existed. Now let me get personal. I know this is going to create an avalanche of hate mail against me, claims of being an Elon lover and a lot else. Well, to those of you who will scream at me for supporting him, I just ask you to answer one simple question, just one. What other CEO and what other products do you treat equally the same? For example, if you condemn Musk for child slaves digging cobalt out of mines in the Democratic Republic of Congo with their bare hands, do you actually own a smartphone? And did you equally condemn Tim Rice or J.H. Hahn? Yeah, look that one up, because their smartphones still contain cobalt to this day. And they still have manufacturing in China using slave labour to this day, although both are rapidly ditching that part of their business. Did you protest against them, against their massive pay packets and pay rises? Did you? If not, why not? One of them even had to take a small pay cut last year from 99 million. Whoa, a year. I've got no time whatsoever for any of those out there, you lot who just select a single specific cause or target while blithely and deliberately ignoring all the others who are equally guilty. Get real. Well, Trump has stated he hates electric cars and windmills, but he likely has a debt of gratitude towards Elon Musk, perhaps even a signed agreement as to the rewards he'll heap on him. I suspect Musk, as I said, got the better of the deal. Trump will likely begin in immediate denial of having said anything bad about EVs or wind powers. He's seen the light. He seems to have absolutely no shame, no regret. Well, Trump will face many immediate challenges. For example, there's the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, brought in by his predecessor, Joe Biden. Well, this subsidises, in America, EVs and PHEVs about $7,500 a year. Well, because it was passed by Biden, Trump's first reaction must be to just end it. But that would impact his new buddy, Elon Musk. So I suspect it will just be quietly phased out or replaced by something that Trump himself passes, which is almost the same. Anyway, the biggest impact is likely to be any tariffs he imposes. If he does, he has a way of announcing them, then he goes and meets the relevant leader and seems to totally change his mind. China is a massive threat to American workers, but President Xi, well, he's a good buddy of Donald. Will he upset him? Well, if we just look back at what he actually achieved in business and policies when he was last president, it's very unreal because it was all skewed by the arrival of COVID. Any policies implemented by Trump, and most were not very good ones, certainly not about the virus itself and how they were to treat it, they were actually crushed by the impact of the virus. It'll be interesting to see what he actually does accomplish this time. Will he end up in jail? Oh, not a chance. Any and all prosecutors acting against him, they're likely to need to dust off their CVs pretty smartish. He's delayed all his legal things this long. He hasn't paid a penny in penalties so far, virtually. A president, he can do an awful lot more. And if any cases eventually get to court, you can guarantee he'll simply appoint more judges to the Supreme Court and they will just overrule everything. They'll vote everything in favour for him. Well, for a man who's run so many companies that went bankrupt and lost so much money personally, he's certainly Teflon coated. Nothing can stick to him. Well, many of you will leap down my throat, accuse me of being a Trump lover now and an admirer and fanboy. Oh yeah. They'll claim he's the biggest danger to the world and mankind that has ever lived. But once again, There is no proof. He's got no track record of doing that, no history to back that up. And the markets seem to think he might be good for America and Americans, at least the wealthy ones. But then they would, wouldn't they? Because they are the wealthy ones. Well, I'm Dave. I'm not wealthy, but just a bit richer than I was yesterday. So thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please click the like button. And if you would like to see more, please subscribe. It makes such a difference to a small and young channel like ours. YouTube monitors your reactions, and those of you who subscribe, it registers those, and it shows that some of my viewers do want to see more, and therefore they show my videos to a wider audience so we can get the message across to more people. So thank you very much for everyone who's viewed a video and everyone who's subscribed. I'm Dave.